Hey, Patty, how's it going today?
It's going great, Billy. How are you?
I am doing well. And for those who don't know, you are the founder of an amazing organization and you lead that organization. It's called American Heritage Girls. Now, for people who are tuning in and they may not know what it is you guys do, can you give us just a little background on your mission?
Absolutely. Our mission is to build women of integrity through service to God, family, community, and country. You might want to think about what scouting is and all the activities that typical Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts used to do back in your day. Well, here we are doing those kinds of things, but we're doing it in a Christ centered environment. And we're really putting, I would say, put it on steroids. It's not only outdoor stuff, but it's also leadership. It's also a lot of emotional and social maturity and intelligence for the girls. And it's also them understanding who they are and whose they are, basically their identity in Christ.
And so it sounds like the differentiator here is that the focus, there are lots of different scouting groups out there. Obviously, you've got Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts and all of that. But it sounds like a differentiator is the focus on Christ. Would that be accurate?
Absolutely. That was the very reason why we were founded. It was founded, American Heritage Girls was founded a long time ago, believe it or not. In 1995, it actually began as a result of a 1993 decision by the Girl Scouts to no longer mandate an oath to God. Now, I was a Girl Scout leader at the time, had been serving for 13 years, used Girl Scouting as a ministry. And when they had made this change, I realized it was more than just the obvious. It actually was a foundational basis. I mean, how could you have a character development program that was no longer going to be based on timeless truths of the Bible? How were you going to do that? What was the character going to be developed around? The social mores of the time? Well, I was seeing what was going on with that. The trajectory was not very positive. So rather than cursing the darkness and complaining about it, I thought I'd do something, at least for my own daughter. And here we are, 25 years later. The Lord obviously had something much bigger than in my mind. I had just something to get my daughter through her formative years. And here we are, and now we're ministering to my daughter's daughters. So that's the way God does things. He's got great math, doesn't he, Billy?
He does. He does. And it's so, and you and I have connected so much over the years, and I've had a chance to tell this story, but I find it incredible. And this is such an important message to parents out there who are struggling with different things that are going on, maybe in their communities or in their lives, and they're trying to figure out, how do I lead my kids the right way? You were part of the Girl Scouts at the time. You saw a problem that was, not just a frustration, but a worry about your daughter's future and what she was going to learn. And you took action, and you never thought in a million years, I would imagine, that you'd be sitting here leading this organization, American Heritage Girls. So how does it work with chapters, and then how many kids do you have? I'd love to just kind of hear that process of how big it is
Right.
now.
Right. So we call them troops. All right. So troops are chartered by churches, private schools, other nonprofit entities that are aligned with a pretty basic Christian statement of faith. And those particular groups then say, you know what, we want to use this program, the American Heritage Girls program, as part of our ministry. It's a wonderful outreach. They might think, gosh, I need something for girls and boys with the Trail Life program that we've helped to start too, that would really bring families together at my church. And I don't know any church, Billy, that doesn't want more families to be part of it. I mean, that's part of the Great Commission. We're called to do that. So we partner with the churches. Presently, we have 1,300 different churches across all 50 states that are part of this program. They are enjoying seeing it grow. We have over 52,000 members. And this year, the Lord has opened the floodgates. I think the COVID year, we were all shut down. And this year, he said, here is the blessing. Here is the blessing for staying the course. And we are busier than ever. It's been exciting to watch.
So I just want to emphasize this again, one parent, you making a decision to do something. And I want to go back to that because you now have 52,000 members. But when you made that choice 25 years ago to do that, what was the first step that you took to say, okay, now I'm going to create this thing for my daughter? What did you do?
Well, I'll be honest, Billy, the first step was to say how I couldn't do it. Right? Because, we got to remember something. God does not call the equipped. He equips the called. So he calls you to do something. He wants you to get out of that boat. You'll never walk on water if you don't, right? You got to get out of that boat. You got to throw yourself away. Honestly, I mean, I could think of a million reasons why I could not do this. And to this day, as I look at myself 25 years later, I'm like, well, that's why I was supposed to do that. And that's why that happened. Our lives are like jigsaw puzzles, right? And we see how the pieces all fit together and that his purpose is perfect for our lives if we'll say yes. So I had all the reasons not to, but I had this fire in my belly, and I believe anytime you want to start something, and I didn't want to start this, but it sprung from my passion for my kids and for my country, and honestly, and for my Lord. So all those things came together to make this beautiful, the Lord said to me, you've been serving in the Girl Scouts. You've been doing all this programming. You have a background in education. You know kids. You can do this. And moreover, you know me. And he gave me the resource to do these things. And of course, I didn't do it in a vacuum. Billy, we got to get our friends around. It's an Ephesians moment. We're all part of the body. We're to lift one another up, and we're all to play our part and know that no one owns all the parts because the Lord owns the ministry. So I've learned early on to go through every open door, and to pray for the Lord to close that I'm not supposed to. And that's how you're able to start something and get some traction. And it's certainly not in a vacuum, and it's not by yourself, but it's being humble enough to say, I don't know. And I probably
Or
can't
I
do
need
this without
help.
him.
Or I need
Mm-hmm.
help. Yeah, I need some kind of I just think it's such a great message for people who are trying to figure that out, that you've gone through this process, you've done this, and you have a massive organization now. So talk a little bit more about, because I'm sure parents who didn't know, or maybe they knew a little bit and they want to know more. What is the day-to-day or the week-to-week look like for a troop? What are they engaging in? What are some of the things they're doing, maybe even during the summer/fall season?
Right. Well, there's typically troop meetings, we call them, and they're often held in the evenings. And that happens every other week, usually. I'm just talking typical here, but troops can choose however often they want to meet. What happens with these troops is they truly become family. Each troop serves a girl ages 5 to 18. So when I wrote the program, it was intentional. At any given point, I was leading 3 Girl Scout troops. That was not family friendly. This program is. So if you have 3 daughters in the ages of 5 to 18, you're all in the same troop, and you can all go to this event in one night. So that's one thing. But also there's badges. We have over 340 badges. Sort of creates a framework or curricula, if you will, for the girls to be able to learn about life skills. It also helps to ignite their passions and pique their interest. I could go on and tell you all about the alumnus stories that we have about how the girls coming out of this program, what they chose to do with their lives, and it's very exciting. We also believe a lot in service. That's where I think girls discover their passion, is by when they're serving in a situation and they want to solve a problem. Just like I attempted to solve a problem by starting American Heritage Girls, each and every one of the members can identify a problem in their community or in their space that they can be part of the result. They're part of the solution. They're not part of the problem. And that's what I love, to empower these girls, not because of girl power, but because of the Holy Spirit's power in the girl. And so day to day, it's a lot of fun. It can be camping, it can be badge work, it could be a service project, it could be just hanging out with like-minded friends. There's no specific, this has to be the way it is, but there is some beautiful, rich content that our leaders can pull from.
Now, obviously, this experience is changing the lives of so many people, and you sought to change the life of your daughter again when you created this. But how has this changed your life? What has this shown you about God and about life?
I'm sure you can attest to this too, Billy. When you're in his will, you don't know where you're going to end up. I mean, here I am on a podcast with you, right? I mean, who would think that this mom, and again, I recently wrote a book. It's called Why Curse the Darkness When You Can Light a Candle. And it is a story of a woman. And I was a young mom. I was a jack of all trades, a master of none, had very low self-esteem, didn't think I could do much of anything. But what the Lord does is he starts to show you his strengths. And you start to understand your strengths and also your weaknesses. And you find people around you that can, accommodate those, that can fill in where you're less than. And then you become this beautiful powerhouse of sisters and brothers. Men are allowed to help out with American Heritage Girls too. This is a ministry for everybody. It's a family ministry. And what I realize is I don't need to know it all. I just need to know enough to say yes and to continue to say yes every day. That's another thing is we are called to pick up our cross every day. Living life is difficult enough. Running a ministry makes it even more difficult. So it's not something that, oh, it's easy and it's no problem. Let's just do it. You got to pick up that cross every day. You got to be at the foot of the cross every day and pray for the Lord to give you the strength to continue on. I mean, there's tough stuff that happens too in these troops. We hear regularly with how big we are of a young girl losing their parent or something horrible happening in a family, a family fire or whatever it might be. And our hearts are very much akin to this because we are family and we deal with that too. So we care so much about our girls and our volunteers and honestly the churches and the charter organizations as well. It is, I believe, a little bit what Jesus had in mind for the kingdom.
Yeah, I mean, 52,000 people is a lot of people. Okay, that's a lot of members, and there's a lot of events and things that happen. But I love what you said there about being a family. So let me ask you this: if somebody's watching right now, they're hearing your story. First of all, I want to give you a chance to tell them where to get your book, and second of all, I want to give you a chance to tell them where to go to find out more about American Heritage Girls if they want to join or they want to start something and get involved. So tell us those two things where they can get those resources.
Absolutely. Well, American Heritage Girls can be found at americanheritagegirls.org. When you click on the website, you're going to see something sort of cool that pops up and says, "Would you like a free download of a book about how to help your girl through the stressors of fear and anxiety?" I highly recommend you do this. We've written this book. We are doing a Raising Godly Girl Minute on over 1,200 radio stations across the nation that is giving tools to parents on how to deal with not just what happened during the COVID pandemic, but what is happening every day to our girls. I truly believe there is a bullseye on them and that our quivers need to be filled with arrows, and American Heritage Girls is one of them. So again, visit americanheritagegirls.org. If you look at the website, you'll also see on the top right corner a Find a Troop tab where you can type in your zip code, see if there's a troop in your area. If there's not, and you feel the Lord is calling you to start a ministry or be part of a ministry at your local church, then you can also learn how to start a troop there too. And if you're interested in reading about a story of somebody ill-equipped to be able to, but faithful in her calling, that would be whycursethedarkness.com. And that is my book, Patti Garibay, whycursethedarkness.com, or you can go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever you buy your books.
Patti, as always, it's always so great to catch up with you. And thank you for sharing your heart and your story. And do what you said. Check out American Heritage Girls and check out the book as well. Hope to connect with you very soon.
Same here. Take care, Billy. Have a great one.